I'm Jenny, and my husband Dominic and I moved to this property in Nova Scotia in August of 2020 to learn to grow our own food. We are repeat offenders when it comes to bringing livestock onto the property before we're fully prepared. It started with our laying hens, our first livestock. Dominic ordered them before he had even driven one nail to make a coop, and by the time they had arrived, inevitably the coop was not completely finished. Fast forward to when we got our pigs. Amanda and Dominic are on their way to pick up the pigs. And I have got to figure out what is wrong with the fencing. Dominic was on the road going to get the pigs, and we were troubleshooting how electric fences work because we'd set it all up, but we didn't know if it was working or not. My heart's going. And then when we got 4 goats, very spontaneously, Dominic was in the rain building a shelter to put on top of our trailer so that he could go and get the goats the next day.
I won't get it out.
This year, it was going to be different. We ordered them earlier, we were going to be prepared, we were going to be ready, and of course, that did not happen. Good morning. So if you played in this video and you saw the thumbnail, you might have a guess of what animal we're picking up today.
Clickbait kings.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be so in the dark.
We are on our way to pick up our livestock today. And it's sheep, obviously. We can all tell it's sheep, right? Are we gonna keep it going? Okay, we're going to pick up the sheep. So we're gonna share with you guys what we're getting, how many we're getting, the breeds, why we chose that breed, and what our plans are, I guess, going forward with the sheep. We are giddy with the excitement of a road trip and the thought of new livestock. We're like this because we live in a constant state of chaos, which we have become accustomed to. Over the past year and a half of trying to grow our own food, we have had our fair share of chaos on the homestead. Jeannie, you're not opening the gate, are you? Okay, let's back up a little bit. This was going to be 2 videos. One was going to be preparing for the livestock and the other was going to be retrieving the livestock, but how things went down, that's impossible. So let's back up a little bit to Dominic doing some maintenance on the fence. Dominic is he's trying to get this onto the trailer so that we can transport animals tomorrow. He built this originally for the goats when we got the goats, but the plan was always that we have an extra way to transport livestock.
Don't worry, I'll get this.
All right, I'll go help him. So, as you saw earlier, Dominic was putting the shelter on top of the trailer, which means it is officially time for us to get our first shipment of livestock. And by shipment, I mean we have to go and pick them up because nothing gets delivered out here. But that also means that obviously we're doing a bunch of last-minute chores before we go get the livestock tomorrow.
Now, in my defense, these shouldn't have been last-minute chores. We were ready to go last weekend, but we all had the terrible stomach bug, which took the wind out of our sails. But you know, we prioritize the things that need to get done today, and I think we're on schedule to finish. So right now I'm just going around, I'm clearing the bottom line of the fence wherever anything's coming up. So this maple stump, for example, just had 1 million sprouts come up out of it since last year, so those are going to lean on the fence and be shorting it out the whole time, so that's not what you want. That'll take some of the pep off your fence for when the animals touch it. So I'm going to be going around with the old FS131 today. I'm going to go through and make sure that bottom line is perfectly cleared, and we're going to turn the fence on and make sure it works before the mystery animal gets here tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, who's going to touch the fence to make sure that it works? Me or you?
We have a meter. For that.
What? Why would we buy a meter? We have our hands. He's gonna go along the perimeter of the fence and make sure that everything is cleared. And it shouldn't take too long. This time last year, he was still trying to put up the fencing. So we're doing a little bit better. It's not that bad. We do still have to get the brooder ready because we are getting chicks tomorrow. So I'm gonna go in and clean up after supper, and hopefully he gets this done quick enough that we can go out and get that brooder set up for tomorrow. Because I don't know, why would you even be here if you wanted us to be like ready to go on time? So the morning of, we had the fence ready, but we did not have the brooder or the fencing set up for the sheep. But that was fine. We would just figure that out once we get home. We had to get on the road early so that we could drive out, pick up the sheep and the chickens, and get back home. The first thing we did, obviously, was stop for breakfast. The Farmer's Daughter in Waikagama is awesome. We always get like high quality stuff when we go there. There's a little gift shop attached to it, and they sell like local meat and local like milk and all of that stuff. So it's a really nice place to stop to eat if you're going through Cape Breton. So we're nearly there to pick up the sheep, and I wanted to talk about what sheep we're getting and why we chose this particular breed. Dominic knew that he wanted a sheep that was good for meat as well as a hair sheep so that he didn't have to shear it. He contacted somebody who has Dorper, Cathodon Cross.
They're both meat breeds. They're not milk or wool sheep breeds. They're mainly a meat breed, and I think the Dorper is kind of the bigger grower. But they're supposed to be both pretty good for foraging, growing on grass only, and stuff like that. So, but if everything works out really good, we got a purebred Cathodon lined up for the fall that we'll breed in, and then the following year I could get a purebred Dorper, and then we could just flip-flop generations of breeding them back and forth, hopefully. So that's kind of the plan for now.
Yeah, so we're picking up 6 sheep today, the 7th in the fall, and the plan is to have 2 of them butchered in the fall, so the 2 rams that we're picking up today, and then keep the ewes for breeding for next year. We got the sheep. So first reactions, they're really small. They're like lambs. They're so cute. Now we have to go pick up 29 meat chickens.
Oh, we're in a desperate situation then. What are you doing?
Got the cheepies. Now should I put them on the floor?
Did you get your brooder set up at the house?
No, I don't. Got the chicks. They'll sell them to anybody. Like, I don't know if that girl was just like, she's like, here you go, I'll give you 30. I think most people are going up and getting their own. And she was like, I'll go get them for you. And I was like, I mean, I could have got them. I mean, she's not wrong to assume that I can't do something because there's lots of things I can't do. So I was just like, okay, thank you, I'm gonna go use the bathroom.
Plan of attack, which is going to take 30 minutes total, as I mentioned earlier, is we get home, water the sheep first, clean out the half the shed with a bunch of stuff in it. We're going to slap together the brooder. We're going to come back outside. We're going to set up the netting. We're going to set up the posts. That's the plan of attack for now.
All of that, 30 minutes.
30 tops.
Tops. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Over here.
Yeah, do you want some help or? Okay. I mean, I could go find somebody that's willing to help you. This is the 3rd time Dominic has built this brooder, and every time he builds it, he says, what do you say?
Next time, I'm gonna do something different.
Oh man, we didn't turn on the camera. We built it.
Rookie!
Rookie mistake. This took like 2 minutes. chicks are taken care of. They're ready to go. So now we've got to set up the sheep netting.
Let's see if I still got it.
Stop! Oh, he's back. One ran away immediately, but he's back with his buddies. High five. We did it.
Great job. Just
Nailed
sending
it.
Mom some pictures.
All right, we got the sheep.
Sheep
They're here.
arrived. All right, I'm off the phone. We need to hang around now and make sure they touch the fence and learn about it and stuff. Fighting over the grain.
Who needs a front lawn when you could have sheep living on it? And they can eat all the grass. Well, I mean, you know, eventually there'll be grass. But if you've got a front lawn just sitting there, you should put sheep on it.